Welcome back to another video. I've got an LED light panel in for review today, and this was sent in via JETBeam for some testing and a quick look. So we're going to run over the spec on the box quickly just to give you an idea of some of the features with this panel. A bit different from a lot of the ones that you might see around. There's quite a few features on this. Your maximum output is up to 650 lumens. Bear in mind that's the cool white temperature. It's a little bit less for the warmer temperature. Very compact size and not much weight, just over a couple hundred grams. You will notice when you get this, first of all, there's a protective film on the front of the panel, so do peel that off. Very simple controls with this. Two buttons. The right one is the power button and the left one that cycles the available modes. On the side we have two of these dials. One of them at the bottom is a jog dial, so you can move it partially up and down and push it in. One at the top is a rotary dial for the output level. On the underside you'll see the 1/4 inch tripod thread, Type-C USB port for charging, and a Type-A which you can use as a power bank. On the corner there is a hole there so you can put a wrist strap or even a neck strap through it, and there is another tripod thread there, so you have two in total on this. User guide I will put on the screen a bit later on. They've given you a short Type-C to Type-A USB cable. There's also another socket there so you can plug in a Type-A directly for the power bank. And I'm pleased to see included they do have a hot shoe adapter, so you can thread that into the base of the light and directly mount that onto the hot shoe of the camera. You can pick up a ball head one if you're going to need to angle up or down, but you can turn this around to the side if you want. Just make sure that you lock it off so it's in place firmly. Here's a quick shot of the panel on top of the camera in the hot shoe. So as a video light or even for stills photography, a fill light, it is quite a neat little device. They've also included a soft felt bag, and that has a pouch on the front, so that gives you somewhere to stash the charging cable and the hot shoe adapter. Let's have a look at the operation of the unit. Very straightforward. Push and hold in the right hand button at the top for a couple of seconds, and the button next to that on the left hand side cycles through the modes. If you don't do anything for about 20 seconds after you've hit that power button, it will automatically switch off, so you do need to hit the mode button, but it does remember the settings that you've put in. So if you fixed it at a specific Kelvin, then it will remember that. With the jog dial at the bottom, you can either push it quickly to get increments of 100 kelvins, or you can hold it in and that will cycle up or down fairly quickly, so you can move between the various settings pretty easily on this. Because you have the jog dial at the bottom, what you can do is in some of the modes, like this HSI mode for the different colors, you can push that in to cycle through the settings. So we have saturation and hue, so that's the function of the second jog dial at the bottom with that push in. I think it works pretty well myself. I am not particularly keen on the glass back with this because it's very reflective and you can barely see the markings, although it doesn't really matter because it is so simple to operate. I perhaps would have just gone with a matte plastic or a polycarbonate, something like that. It does look nice, but it's not the most practical finish. Although I do like the sandblasted aluminium frame, it does feel very solid, and so does the cover. That feels quite robust. You have that diffused cover on the front, which helps to soften the light a little bit. JETBeam have included some special modes. You have 9 of those in total, so there's 3 in each group. Again, just push that jog dial in to cycle through the different ones and then up and down to select them. What I've done is put them on the screen for you so it's a bit easier to see. I will be doing a light demo later on with the different modes. So 9 in total. I wouldn't use a lot of those myself. There's no way for me to test this, but JETBeam do say it has a high color rendering index, so you should get accurate colors with this, particularly at the lower kelvins. Whilst we're on the kelvins, you do have quite a big range on this. Not seen such a large range on the Kelvin scale for an LED panel light such as this. They usually top out around about 6,500 kelvins, and this one goes a little bit cooler. You'll see that it switches between the warm and cool LEDs depending on the color temperature that you've selected. The HSI color mode cycles through the color spectrum, and you also have the intensity of that with the saturation, so there's quite a lot of variety in there. It would be pretty difficult to show everything. This is at the higher intensity, the higher saturation. A lot of the special modes I wouldn't use on this, but this one might be useful because of the mood effect if you need a specific hue of lighting. You can only use the Type-C for charging, but the Type-A can be used for the power bank. Around about 3 hours to charge this, and you can, importantly, use it whilst you're charging it. It worked okay as a power bank, but you don't always get the highest maximum speed. Depends very much on the charge level of the battery. Comparing this to my old basic LED light that I have around, which I did a video on this a few years ago, it's okay, it works fine. You have to use different slot-in plastic diffusers to get different color temperatures, and it's a bit of a pain, to be honest. So I do like the JETBeam. So a couple of niggles really is that the estimated time remaining isn't always accurate. I'm not particularly crazy about the glass back, and sometimes the battery level indicator isn't super accurate either, but I do think this is quite a useful unit. I've certainly not seen anything in this particular price range that offers as many features as it does. If you're going to use them, I'm not entirely sure, but I do think it is quite a nice unit overall. If you've got any questions on this or any thoughts, do drop a comment below, and I'll now run the light demo so you can see how the unit performs.